What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to A Whole Lot of Ball. And today we're going to talk about 5 hitters I like for the 2026 MLB season. So make sure you leave a like and subscribe. Turn those notifications on so you won't miss an upload. And anyways, let's get right into it. Now, the first hitter that I'm high on in 2026 is Colson Montgomery. In 2025, the rookie, with a small sample size, he hit 21 homers, slugged a very good .529, and tallied an .840 OPS on top of that. And he tallied 7 outs above average at short, putting him in the 92nd percentile in the entire league. I honestly feel like he might have like a kind of prime Joey Gallo-esque season, but plus some elite defense at short. When I take a look at some of his advanced metrics, because he's a guy that hits the ball super hard, but he also walks a decent amount. But when he isn't hitting the ball, he's striking out a lot, shown with Colson's near 30% strikeout rate in 2025. And his 83 strikeouts in only 284 plate appearances. But the big difference between him and Gallo is that, Colson isn't nearly putting up the walk numbers as Gallo was. Like Montgomery's posted last year around an 8.8% walk percentage, while Gallo in his prime years averaged around a 15% walk rate. So, it's not very close, but you can kind of see the similarities. And, I think Colson's going to have a great year. I'm saying, maybe like a 240 batting average, but he'll put up maybe 80 points higher in the on-base percentage and mid 500 slugging, and he'll have some great defense, somewhere in the mid 30s homers. I wouldn't even be surprised if he makes the All-Star game. So that's why I'm pretty high on Colson Montgomery for the 2026 season. And the next guy that I like for the 2026 season is going to be Michael Harris, who, he's already shown he can be an elite player at the MLB level, with his amazing Rookie of the Year 2022 season. He posted a 5.1 BWAR in only 114 games, and then in 2023, although he regressed a little bit, he still finished with a very respectable 3.5 BWAR and 116 OPS plus. But unfortunately for Harris, his numbers clearly haven't been the same since 2023. In 2024, although his defense was incredible like normal, his offensive numbers fell flat. He had a below league average 99 OPS plus, and last year he was even worse with an 88 OPS plus and a career-low 678 OPS. So, after all this, you might be wondering, why am I high on him this year if he's clearly shown offensive regression? Well, here's the thing. Although not an excuse for poor offensive play, the guy's kind of been unlucky. In 2025, Harris's XBA was in the 78th percentile at .268, whereas his actual batting average finished at .249. He also had a better expected slug than most of the league at .438, where his real slugging percentage was almost 30 points lower at .409. So, these things make it easy to see. He was a little bit unlucky last year. I know it's not a full excuse, but he was also at least league average in barrel percentage, average exit velocity, and hard hit percentage, finishing 50th percentile or higher in all 3 categories last year. But the things he's never had going for him, which clearly showed last year, are his chase and walk percentage. They've always been bottom 11th percentile throughout his career, but career worst last year, all the way down to the bottom 1st percentile. But he still does have an above average strikeout rate with only 20%, and his defense will always make him a reliable starter. He's one of the best defenders in the league. So as long as he just is a little bit more lucky this year, then, I think he'll be back to being an offensive slugger and one of the really good players for next year. Now, the third guy I like for the 2026 season is going to be one of my favorite players in the MLB, Ceddanne Rafaela. And, I'm a huge Red Sox fan, so you can call me biased all you want, but I truly believe he has superstar potential, and that might show in 2026. I don't even need to talk about the defense, but, I'm going to do it anyways, because if the Gold Glove wasn't enough to show you how good of a defender he is, he also posted an insane 21 outs above average and 20 defensive runs saved in 2025, mostly in center field. And no matter what, his elite defense will always keep him as an everyday starter. But I want to talk about his offense and his offensive progression throughout the past couple of years. So last year, his offense wasn't pretty, but it wasn't the worst in the league. He posted a 295 on base percentage and a below league average 95 OPS plus. But these totals were a big step from the year before. He jumped 10 points in OPS plus and over 20 points in on base percentage. And his strikeout percentage has gotten so much better since 2024, going from 26.4% to 19.9%. So, that's not elite or anything, but it's around league average and maybe even above league average. And he's a guy that he doesn't hit the ball incredibly hard, but his elite speed and his above average barrel percentage make up for that. He also posted a +4 base running run value last year, which was in the 92nd percentile. So, really everything combined. The elite defense, the progression in his on base percentage and OPS plus, and just that elite speed there too. I wouldn't be surprised if he finishes with an OPS plus somewhere in the 110 to 115 to 120 range, and he'll have another elite defensive season. So he's a guy that I think is going to be a superstar in 2026. The fourth guy I like for the 2026 season is O'Neal Cruz. He's obviously been regarded as one of the top future stars in the league for a couple years now, and he hasn't really shown it yet, but he's shown so many flashes. His average exit velocity last year was 95.8 miles per hour, which I'm pretty sure was second best behind Giancarlo Stanton, which, when you're doing that, that's pretty incredible. He was also in the 97th percentile for barrel percentage, 98th percentile for hard hit percentage, and 100th percentile in bat speed. And his walk percentage was very good too. He was in the 86th percentile. So really all these things sound great. So it's really surprising as to why he hasn't had a great season yet. But when you take a deeper look, it's because he isn't really making contact with the ball. So, really once O'Neal starts making contact with the ball and starts hitting it in the air rather than on the ground, I feel like he's going to have an incredible season. He's already shown so much power that he has. He's a great defender in center field. Like, he moved there from shortstop, and I think he's just been playing wonderful in center. He's got so much speed. I really think that O'Neal Cruz can be one of the best, if not like the best player in the league. Look out for this guy. A couple of years, he might be having an MVP season. He's just got to put everything together, and when he does that, he's going to be one of the best hitters in the league. The fifth and final guy I'm high on in 2026 is Spencer Torkelson, and I know he had a good season last year with 31 homers and a 789 OPS, but I think he's going to be even better this year. I think, that OPS is going to be mid to high 800s, maybe even 900s. His walk percentage was very high last year too, at 11.1%. And he struck out a lot, but his on-base percentage of 333 was very respectable. He hits the ball extremely hard, slugs a higher barrel percentage than most of the league, and he finished last year with a very respectable 456 slugging percentage. If he can cut down the strikeouts a little bit and bring the walks up, maybe even a tiny bit, even though he already does walk a good amount, get that on-base percentage up into the 340s, 350s, we're looking at a low to mid to high 800s OPS player, and he might be able to crush 35 homers next season. And then when you pair him with Kerry Carpenter, with Riley Green, with Dylan Dingler, plus the Tigers' 1-2 punch of Skubal and Valdez, I think the Tigers are looking like a scary team next year, especially in the weak division of the AL Central. So those are my 5 guys that I like for the 2026 season. So thank you everyone for watching. Really appreciate it. Hopefully I can get more consistent uploads. I know I say it every video, but I'm just busy with a ton of stuff. But anyways, the next video is going to kind of expand on this. It's going to be 5 hitters I dislike for the 2026 season. Maybe not guys that are going to be bad, but just guys that I think are going to have worse seasons than last year based on some of their advanced metrics and etc. and stuff like that. So let me know down in the comments if you agree, disagree, think I'm stupid, whatever, if I'm hating on one of your favorite players, or I'm putting up one of your least favorite players. Just all feedback is appreciated. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope to see you next time, and stay ballin'.